Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new, welcome. So in today's video, I'm going to basically cover why I'm going all in crypto. And if you're new, welcome to the channel. I'm going to talk about stocks and options and analysis and stuff like that. And if you've been following me, then you know that I mainly cover those topics as well. But I wanted to do another video of why I'm all in on crypto, and I think it's basically I want to showcase why I think it's a good idea to get in if you're not already in. And if you're new, you probably just clicked on this video like trying to figure out like, why is this crazy guy all in with $100,000 in crypto, and you know what is he doing that, or what does he know that I don't know, you know, maybe that type of deal. So thanks for clicking on the video, and hopefully you get those answers out of this video. But yeah, basically I started my crypto journey back when Bitcoin had that huge crash from 60 back to all the way down to 30. And then that basically got me into like wondering why, you know, like, or it made me curious to figure out like what's going on with crypto, and why is it not zero already? Why is it still holding? You know, like, is there actually any value to this? You know, let me do some more research, get myself, you know, educated into what's going on. And then yeah, so basically, as you can see, this is my portfolio on Coinbase. I have around 76,000. So I've jumped pretty not high, but like a good amount back in July, or around June, July, when I was accumulating. And here's my Robinhood account. I basically only have 100 shares of Coinbase as of here. So as you can see, I'm basically all in on crypto. Coinbase is basically considered like a crypto stock because it's basically the crypto exchange. And as you can see, I have 26,000 here. As of right now, I only have a 10% return. It was 20% actually not that long ago, but then it dipped a little bit. But I have a high conviction on Coinbase, and I have a high conviction on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I have more Bitcoin than Ethereum, but I decided to get Ethereum. So before I go more into like, you know, more in topics which I'm gonna cover like what's going on with Bitcoin, and basically like the pattern that I see, which is pretty much like this Wyckoff accumulation. Like, it's literally almost the same pattern if you look at this and look at this, and I'll cover what that's about. And then I'll cover more news into basically where Bitcoin is kind of headed, and basically all the talk around Bitcoin reaching 100,000 by the end of the year. And like, you should be at least hearing about Bitcoin 100,000 at the end of the year, at least topics every now and then, because it's becoming more and more of like a possibility now that we're at these prices. But yeah, I'll basically cover all like the good stuff about where I think it's heading, and even the bad stuff, and like the next catalyst that's gonna push it up, and then, or the next catalyst that may push it down. So I'll go over all of that. But yeah, basically, let me just go back to my story of how I got into this. So again, after that huge crash, I saw that it was holding around 30,000, and then I was like, okay, like, let me educate myself. What is Bitcoin? Why is it popular? Why, like, you know, why does Cathie Wood like believe in it? Why does Elon Musk believe in it? Why does even Jack Dorsey believe in it? And like all these other big players, like what do they see that I don't see, right? So I started doing some research. And for those of you that don't know what Bitcoin is, or you're not into like the whole crypto world, especially Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is very different from like Ethereum and all the other altcoins. So Bitcoin, the best way I can explain it, like using an analogy, is think of like, there's only 100 domains, like, you know, Google, Yahoo, and stuff like that. Like, there's only 100 like ever created, right? So that's what Bitcoin is. Basically, like, it just has like the laws of supply and demand already embedded it. So imagine there's only 100 domains, and as you get to like that 50 domain that's already been bought, 51, and so on, like the closer you get to like that 100, like the more expensive it's gonna be, just based on like the laws of supply and demand. So that's basically my Bitcoin analogy. And then Ethereum is basically like the internet that's holding these domains, like Google, Yahoo. So Ethereum is like that other separate layer that kind of works of like that like think of it as like the internet, or like having that technology where, you know, basically Ethereum holds like the key to like having other stuff on the internet. So like all these other altcoins can be built off of Ethereum, or the internet, as like I like to call it. So that's basically my analogy of like explaining to someone what Bitcoin and Ethereum is in a nutshell. And yeah, so I'm basically all in on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Coinbase. I have a lot of high conviction in Coinbase, and even ARK has high conviction in Coinbase. As you can see, it's number 4. So if you follow ARK, and like I know if you follow like Palantir, for example, Coinbase basically made like what Palantir makes in a whole year is what Coinbase made like last quarter, or this recent quarter, and that was just in profit basically. So it's basically whatever they profit is what Palantir makes in revenue. So that's huge, and they're almost valued like almost like the same. I think Coinbase is like 50 something billion, and Palantir is like just shy of 50 billion. So they're almost like same market cap valuation, yet Coinbase is like printing money left and right. So again, if you're into like following ARK, if you're into like Palantir and stuff like that, I think you should really look into Coinbase, because Coinbase is making a lot of money right now. Anyway, so back into my story. Yeah, so I shifted over. First I was using Robinhood, and then I quickly realized that you should not be using Robinhood for crypto, or at least buying crypto and stuff like that, because you can't do anything with it. So once I realized that, I basically pulled all my money out, and then started using Coinbase. But actually I was using Coinbase Pro to do my purchases and stuff like that, and then I switched over, because after you buy through Coinbase Pro, you can just shift it over to Coinbase, your Coinbase wallet. So that's basically what I did. And then Coinbase Pro like saves you a lot in fees and stuff like that. So that's just like a recommendation. Like if you're planning to use Coinbase or Coinbase Pro and stuff like that, I think you should be buying on Coinbase Pro and then shifting it over to Coinbase if you want. But anyways, so let's take a look at like what's going on recently. So basically, we had like the series of like phases, which is kind of like the Wyckoff accumulation. And basically, this whole Wyckoff accumulation this is the area where larger players try to build positions and shake out smaller fish without causing much of a further drop in price, or the beginning of the new trend. They aim to maintain this phase until all their positions have filled, hence the name accumulation. So basically, I think this is what like the big players did. There was a whole series, like it got triggered with the whole Elon Musk thing of like him like saying, whoa, like this is actually not good for the environment. And then I think even Trump came out and was like, this sounds like a scam. And then the whole China thing, and then that just caused like the whole like price to just like dip and dip and dip, and then it started like hitting this strong support at 30,000, and then it's hit that like multiple times. Basically, that kind of started the whole Wyckoff accumulation phase. So this was phase A. Phase B was like the longer phase where it kind of like retested it, but then it came back down. Phase C was basically where we had like a huge further drop back down to like the lowest point, I think, which was like around 29 or 2,800 and something, around that area, and then it bounced back. So that was phase C. I mean, look at this and then look at this and tell me it's not like identical basically. So phase C, you can see that we had that spring and then test right here. And then phase D is basically where we had like, again, retesting that 41,000 resistance right there, resistance. And then after breaking that resistance, we're now in phase E. So that's basically where we're at right here in phase E, which is, I don't know like what to tell you guys, but this looks exactly almost the same like pattern to me. Literally like Wyckoff accumulation playbook 101 just happened. And you have to ask yourself, okay, if Bitcoin is not worth anything, if it's really not worth anything, it should be zero. But if it's not zero, why is it 30,000? And if it's 30,000, what do these investors like Michael Saylor, Cathie Wood, Elon Musk, why is PayPal or Square and all these companies like accumulating Bitcoin and stuff, like Coinbase, and like, well, why is Coinbase printing money left and right? You have to ask yourself all those questions, right? And then you have to like think about it, like, okay, maybe there is something to this. Maybe Bitcoin is actually something. Maybe all these people that are talking about Bitcoin as like the digital gold, maybe that it actually has some meaning to it and stuff like that. So I started seeing like all these signs, and then I saw that like 50, like it just dropped 50%, and then I'm like, okay, there's a lot of fear going on right now, and I think this is all gonna die over, especially after like the whole China FUD thing, the environmental like FUD thing, and then like how this could be a scam and all stuff. After people realize that all those things are just basically like ways to like shake people out, then I think then all of a sudden it's gonna like boom start skyrocketing, and then the adoption is gonna kick in, and the FOMO is gonna kick in, which I think is what's happening right here. So basically all the big players started like accumulating, and then now more people are gonna be like, hey, you know, like El Salvador is using Bitcoin. You know, there's talks about Nigeria using Bitcoin, Uruguay, Mexico, like what's happening? You know, is the adoption kicking in? So there's a lot of stuff happening right now, and then with all these signs, that's basically, again, that just reemphasizes why I went all in crypto, and I see it as potentially hitting 100K, especially with what's been happening and where it's going. So, and this whole Wyckoff accumulation pattern that just happened. But then again, of course, there's like a lot of risk. Like I even told my wife, I was like, hey, like, so you see this whole square zone right here? This was me buying. Like I started buying right here. I bought right here. I bought right here. I bought right here. And like during this whole time, I was telling my wife, hey, like, you know, like I'm basically going all in on Bitcoin and crypto and stuff. And, you know, we're either going to lose all this money or we're gonna come out on top, and I think we're gonna come out on top based on like what's happening. So yeah, now we're in the phase E where it passes 41,000 resistance. We just broke another like key resistance at 47,000. So like even the news is talking about it. Like if the news is showing some good articles, that's you know, interesting, because normally it's just bad article after bad article and fear after fear, and now they're basically saying like it just jumped above 40,000. It may have a straight path to 50,000. And there's other articles that are saying like, you know, I don't know if you know about Plan B, but Plan B does like this whole like it has like this huge model that has been pretty good at forecasting where it's going, and then basically they're just reconfirming that this bull is not over, and 64K was not the top. So, you know, again, we might see 100,000 by the end of the year, and so on. So one of the big catalysts that might happen is this whole Taproot upgrade that Bitcoin may have, and I think it's coming in November. And so far, everything is going according to plan. And so basically, this whole upgrade, like shenanigans, just happened with Ethereum, and ever since Ethereum got that upgrade, it boosted back above 3,000, and then it's just been surging. So who knows, maybe like this catalyst that happens in November might do the same thing for Bitcoin, and it might even cause like another like supply shock type of like sentiment, even though it won't really be like much of a supply shock, but it might just cause like that whole sentiment, you know, to come back, and then everyone like to pile in, FOMO kick in and everything. So another huge big catalyst, which I think I call it the mother of all catalysts, is if the United States actually approves a Bitcoin ETF type of, or some type of ETF with crypto, especially Bitcoin. I think that would be like the mother of all catalysts, because I think as of right now there's like 14 or 15 like institutions or hedge funds like waiting in line to create their own type of ETF or Bitcoin ETF. And I think the first one gets approved by the SEC, it's going to cause like a domino effect, and most of them are going to get approved. And then not only that, they're going to get approved once regulation comes in, which a lot of people think regulation is bad for crypto and Bitcoin, but a lot of people also say that it would actually be good, because once it's regulated, people would feel a lot safer in like investing in it and such, which will cause like further adoption, which will cause the price to go up even further. So I think the second one Bitcoin ETF gets actually approved by the CSC, then it's gonna cause like a ripple effect. And then anytime there's an ETF that like gets formed, they're forced to buy Bitcoin, they're forced to buy Ethereum, they're forced to buy whatever it is that they have in the ETF, which is gonna cause the price to surge. So that's what I call the mother of all catalysts. And then if that happens, that's gonna like just cause like a shockwave in the whole crypto space. Crypto community is just gonna be crazy. And yeah, but anyway, so let's get into another thing why I think it's gonna be continue surging is the BTC USD shorts. Basically the short sellers, they have been liquidating their positions. So you can see these huge spikes that we had up like 26,000 levels, 24,000s, and that those huge spikes, I think that was some like price manipulation, basically just causing the price to be or within a certain levels, to like every time we reached almost 41,000, that's when you had that huge spike of short sellers come in and basically bring it back down, and then so on. But as you can see, we're like at relatively high prices right now. We're above 47,000, and then the short sellers haven't increased. If anything, they decreased. So they were like above 2,000 not that long, like I think just yesterday, and now it's like decreasing. So this to me is just basically saying that the shorts are think that it's gonna keep going up. 50,000 is probably where they're gonna start, rebuilding their short positions. But honestly, I think if we break 50,000, the next resistance is all-time high, is 64,000. So that's what I've been saying to like my friends and everything. I've been telling them like, hey, if we break 50,000, 64,000 is the next resistance, and then it's gonna play around within that resistance level for like maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. If it breaks that all-time high, honestly, like 100K is looking a lot more doable, and if anything, it might just surge all the way up to 100K. Who knows what's gonna happen after 100K? There might be like a lot of people selling, cashing in profits and stuff like that. My goal is to have at least 2 Bitcoins. It doesn't matter if it's 40K, 50K, or 60K. I'm gonna keep buying little by little to try to get 2. So as of right now, I'm not too far off, but that's my goal, is to at least have 2, because I want to play the long-term game. I expect Bitcoin to be, like just what Kathy predicted, be 400, 500K at one point. And so I'm willing to wait. If it's like 5-10 years, I think it'll definitely be there by then. So that's basically my plan. So that's why I'm all in right now. And I think honestly, the only bad news as of right now, the only thing that can stop this rally is basically this whole tax bill that's been going on or this crypto tax bill that's been implemented within the infrastructure bill. So there's a whole debate of what a broker means, and if it includes miners, validators, and developers, and so on. But the good news is this actually just came out today that says the IRS won't go after Bitcoin miners regardless of broker definition. So that's a little bit of good news, but not necessarily like what we're expecting. So what we're expecting is for basically the bill to be rephrased of like what a broker means in the crypto space, of like how the tax should be implemented and stuff. Because as of right now, like it's not looking too good if it gets passed with the current definition or the current language, and it may actually like hurt like Ethereum and some altcoins, not necessarily Bitcoin, I think, but definitely like some other altcoins. So that's currently like the only bad thing that's happening as of right now. There's been just like a pile of good news all of a sudden ever since like the whole B word event that happened back in July 21st. This was basically like the spark of the rally that back over here. Ever since the B word, we started going up, and then we just been breaking resistance after resistance. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you're in crypto, if you're in Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. Cardano's picking up. Let me know what you guys think. I know I mainly talk about stocks, but Let me know if what you guys think overall. Like, is this a good move, a bad move? What are you guys doing? Yeah, basically, like if you've been following me, you know that I was like above 100k, and then I dipped back down to like the 50 level, the 60 levels, and I was in the 50, 60 for a while, and now I'm back over 100k. And based on how things are going, especially within the crypto and Bitcoin world, I think if it does reach all-time high, then I think my portfolio will shoot up well above like where I used to have it. I think it'll be like 120, 130k around there. So I think overall it's a pretty good move. I know I understand my risk to reward ratio, so be careful with yours. And I wouldn't recommend going all in like me, but that's just my I have a different risk appetite. But anyways, let me know in the comments, are you guys in the crypto world or are you not? Did this video somewhat convince you? Or if you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching.